Hi, I'm Jack Durish. Some may be wondering why I've gone off on this tangent about entrepreneurs. Actually, I have several reasons. So give me a minute. I'm going to tell you a story. A quick glance through the archives in this blog will tell you pretty quickly I'm a student of history. I'm an author of historical fiction. And entrepreneurism is a very important part of history, especially American history. You know, the Spanish explorers came to the New World to plunder it. They raided the empires of the Incas and the Mayans and the Aztecs, and they took away all they could. It was the English who came to colonize. Now, a lot of people talk about, well, they came to colonize for religious freedom. The truth is, the English colonies were formed by entrepreneurs. It's true. Sure, we've all heard the stories about the pilgrims and what have you. And yes, there was a very strong religious component to their colonies, but they all were formed by companies, entrepreneurs in the old world who funded the establishment of the colonies to build commercial enterprises. It's as simple as that. Now, I'm probably more familiar with the case of Maryland than any other because that's where I was born, and that's the history I was raised with. And it's a fascinating history. Yes, religion was a very big component of the history of the Maryland colony. If you look at the flag for the state of Maryland, you'll see crosses all over it. And in point of fact, little known fact, that of all the standards that hold up the flags of the other states, they're all topped with spear points. This is tradition. Only Maryland is topped with a cross. It was the first body politic to be established on the foundation of religious freedom. Of course, we know it really wasn't religiously free. It was established by Catholic entrepreneurs who wanted to have a place where the Catholics from England could find refuge. Catholicism was not real popular in England at that time. They had gotten over the Catholics and the Pope, and they didn't want any parts of them. And whatever Catholics stayed around were persecuted by and large. But the Lord Baltimore, he had won favor with the king, even though he was a Catholic, and he got the right to build a colony. But again, he did it as a commercial enterprise. And it was definitely not supposed to be a Catholic colony, although it did kind of turn out that way. As America matured, it was the entrepreneurs that built its great commercial success. The In the period just after the country came into being, over 2,000 corporations were formed in the state of Pennsylvania alone. And that doesn't even begin to count all the sole proprietorships and partnerships that were formed in that state and all the other states following the independence of the country. Another reason that I'm kind of hung up on the subject of entrepreneurs right now is because if you've been following my blog, you'll know I'm also currently engaged in a political battle. I'm trying to help a candidate secure his party's nomination for Congress and ultimately to win the election to Congress. And he and I both have a very strong belief that if we're going to turn this economy around, what we have to do is get government out of the way and let the entrepreneurs do what they do best: build new businesses, create new jobs, and most importantly, create new wealth. There's no way America can pay off its debt with the money that's currently in existence. They've already spent it all. Worse than that, they've spent all the credit. There's nothing left. If we're going to pay off our debts, if we are going to rise again and be successful again, it's going to have to be through new wealth. And new wealth is only going to come from the entrepreneur. So that's the reason this and several blogs to follow will deal very exclusively with the subject of entrepreneurs. I hope you'll come back. I'll try and make them interesting. Thank you.